Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to announce that the DA are once again just crumbling like a crouton. It's not fun doing news like this. Earlier today, we spoke about the president, Ramaphosa, firing Nkabani, the previous minister of education or higher education and training. And this seemingly was at least a first step, according to the DA, a good first step to showing that they're interested in actually cleaning up the operation. I said at the time that the DA now needs to push their advantage. The ANC sort of pretended like this had nothing to do with the DA, like this was just always thanks to President Ramaphosa. But fundamentally, this was the perfect moment. The EFF and the MK has already signaled that they will not support any of the votes for any of the budgets in Parliament tomorrow. So the DA joining up with them would basically kill all of those budgets, which would mean the ANC would be forced to get rid of the corrupt ministers within government, as is currently the case. Except EWN News now reports that the DA will support the appropriations bill, and in fact, we're getting another round of, shall we call it, gaslighting from the DA, where we're effectively told that after 5 months of unprecedented budget wrangling, the Government of National Unity is expected to rally together on Wednesday to get the last piece of budget legislation over the line. Steenhuisen told EWN that it's enough for his party that Nkabani was removed from her job over corruption allegations related to the appointment of boards for the sectoral education and training authorities, or SETAs, for the budget to get his party's backing. This was not what he said when he issued his ultimatum to the ultimatum that he issued 2 days prior to the final ultimatum. So first he opens with this.
Until he replaces words with action against corruption with his own ranks, the DA sees no further point in wasting our breath in endless talk shops with the ANC.
And here we have the actual thing that he promised so proudly, so boldly stated on the massive live stream. Just listen to this.
A second and critically important step that the DA is taking is to vote against upcoming departmental budget votes for the departments headed by Simelane Nkabane and other corruption-accused ANC ministers.
So you heard it there, right? Not just Nkabane, but other corrupt ministers as well. That was proudly and boldly stated by the DA's John Steenhuisen. What is this now? 3 weeks ago.
And we will keep voting against those budget votes until those ministers are removed.
That was 3 weeks ago. Mr. John Steenhuisen, the so-called leader of the DA, a man of principles, 3 weeks ago says that they will continue to vote against it
to ensure the stability of the country, while forcing the ANC to act against those specific ministers who the public now demand are removed.
So that was said 3 weeks ago. Now we go over to yesterday when John Steenhuisen finally found out that Nkabani was indeed fired. And listen to how the story suddenly changes. It goes from, oh yeah, we'll not vote for these department budgets until all corrupt ministers are fired, to actually saying the following. We welcome this move as a step in the right direction. This will allow us to support the budget vote on Wednesday. Okay. We will continue to use our position in government to ensure corruption and maladministration, which have no place in government, are rooted out. I will remind you all that Nomusa Dube Nkube is actually one of the people that were sort of part of the controversy for the SETA boards, because she was appointed to the SETA boards completely under a sort of cloud of no one knows what the hell actually happened there or how any of these people got their jobs. So when the DA stands there and goes, yeah, we'll fight against corruption and maladministration, what the hell are you talking about? There's corruption and maladministration happening as we speak, right in front of our eyes, not to mention the fact that you're literally lying about what you said just 3 weeks ago when you said that until all of these ministers are fired, we will simply no longer vote for this budget. And you even laid out in your speech 3 weeks ago that this will not disrupt the larger budget, but only the departmental budgets. You were willing to go to war over this. And this is what he said, by the way, and it is such a brilliant little cuisine of gaslighting. He said the DA wanted Ramaphosa to take the same concomitant action against Nkabani and Similani as he had when he fired DA Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Andrew Whitfield. This is News 34 keeping him in line. In addition, a source close to the DA had earlier claimed the party wanted the ANC to fire just one of the embattled ministers for it to support the budget. And then Steenhuisen says, take some step to show that there's a seriousness of dealing with this and an equality of dealing with matters within the cabinet. This is not what you said 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, you were not going to vote for any of the budget until he fires all of the corrupt ministers within cabinet. Now, suddenly, you were always just looking for at least one. This is the DA protecting their own positions of power within the government whilst not standing on principle. And maybe that's not a bad thing, right? Maybe the department's failing would have been truly horrendous and horrible. Maybe the GNU failing will be truly horrendous and horrible. But here's the problem. Every single time you give the ANC another bit of leeway, every single time you give them a little bit more rope, you're hanging the rest of us. We're the ones paying taxes. We're the ones losing all of our money. We're the ones being stolen and robbed blind by this incompetent, inept, and evil government. And you're the ones now aiding and abetting them by not standing on your principles, Mr. Steenhuisen. As always, let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this. Hit the like the disc if you didn't. It really does help out the channel a ton. And if you watched until now, you're an absolute trooper. So just write the word trooper in comments so that I know how many of you actually watched until now. To all of the supporters over on Patreon, thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member over here on YouTube or join Patreon. Link is in the description down below. As always, I'll see all of you in the next one. Peace.